Despite what most individuals may claim, procrastinating rarely involves being lazy. In actuality, we often work furiously for extended periods of time right before our deadlines when we delay. Laziness is the antithesis of hard work, therefore it can't be why we put in the effort. What causes us to put things off? And more importantly, what can we do to stop it? Welcome to the Personal Development School channel, the one-stop shop for your personal growth needs. Subscribe and get ready to dive into this crazy topic. Let's go. Some claim that procrastinators are lazy. Others assert that they work best under pressure and perform better when they put things off. I urge you to evaluate and meditate on these justifications. Almost everyone who says this routinely puts off doing something and hasn't finished a significant academic job that required planning, execution, evaluation, etc. before the due date. Therefore, they are unable to compare the situations in which they perform best. You can't really say you perform better under pressure if you pretty much always put off starting your tasks and never really go about them methodically. Others claim they enjoy the rush of finishing tasks quickly and meeting deadlines. However, they typically say things like that when they are not working to the deadline. When they have forgotten the bad effects of procrastination, such as emotions of anxiety and tension, weariness, and disappointment from falling short of their own expectations and having to put their lives on hold for extended periods of time, they claim that this works before or after cramming. Not to mention, waiting until the last minute greatly increases the likelihood that something will go wrong, such as falling sick or having a computer malfunction, and you won't be able to achieve the necessary grade. Thus, delaying tasks can be difficult for us and actually raises the likelihood that we will fail, yet we still do it. Why is that? Additionally, procrastination is not just a result of having bad time management abilities. It also has deeper, more intricate psychological causes. In schools where students are continuously evaluated, especially in colleges where there is a lot riding on students' performance, these dynamics are frequently made worse. In actuality, students' procrastination is frequently a form of self-defense. For instance, if you put off doing something, you can always use the justification that you didn't have enough time, which ensures that your confidence in your abilities is never in jeopardy. In order to stop procrastinating, you must first grasp the reasons why you do it as well as the purpose it serves in your life. You need to fully comprehend the cause of the issue to come up with a workable remedy. The secret to learning how to stop procrastinating is awareness and self-knowledge, just like with other difficulties. For many people, realizing how procrastination shields them from feeling inadequate and remembering this when they are tempted to relapse into old, fruitless postponing patterns goes a long way toward curing the issue. The next section is about how to finally stop procrastinating and get things done. 1. Face the likelihood that you don't perform better under pressure. Okay, so some people do, including Wonder Woman, attorneys, and emergency room doctors. If you fit any of those descriptions, congratulations and keep up the good job. However, if you convince yourself that procrastinating is a good thing because you perform better under pressure, you're probably mistaken. That thrill you get as you sprint to the finish line may actually be a paralyzing fear of disappointing others and yourself by performing inadequately. If you have to rush through a project because you waited, that is exactly what is likely to occur. 2. Consider using the Pomodoro Technique. It's a wonderful time management technique where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break to enjoy some well-earned Instagram scrolling or other rewards. This is helpful when you're delaying anything because every time you start, all you can think is, well, suppose I'll be here at this desk for the next 80 years, RIP me. It seems much more manageable knowing you just have to work for 25 minutes before you get a break. Use this strategy after committing to something else, such as the Pomodoro Technique, so that you know it's possible rather than merely scaring yourself into inaction. When you're finished, you'll have completed the most difficult activity on your list, which will give you an "oh my god, I am effing awesome, look at me go" boost and help you get through the following tasks. 3. Invite someone to monitor your behavior. It can be helpful to let someone know you need assistance with a deadline, whether it's a friend who always has things under control or a parent who will send you stern, encouraging texts. Ask them to check in with you to make sure you're on track, but avoid letting your response to them interfere with getting your work done. 4. Give up on the idea that you can multitask successfully. The myth of multitasking gives you permission to juggle tasks that may require all of your attention. Your brain probably does not like having to divide its efforts, unless you are an exceptional case, and it expresses this dislike by slacking off in ways you might not be aware of. Try actively rotating between projects rather than attempting to perform a lot of things at once, which can cause distractions or slow you down. Focus on one issue at a time, persevere through it, and then move on. 5. Workout, a method of delaying something that can aid in getting something done faster. Genius. A break from work might sometimes provide you the inspiration you need to get back to work when you're lacking in it. The endorphin rush from working out doesn't harm, and it can free up time for ideas to develop into a light bulb moment that motivates you to take on a project. 6. Keep in mind how miserable procrastinating makes you feel. Do you ever get those frantic moments where you wonder if this will be the day you mess up on a last-minute job like a pro? And then you imagine that this one moment when you completely miss the mark will be etched into your entire destiny. The next time you're thinking about skipping assignments, write down all of your thoughts in a notebook, store it somewhere convenient, then skim over it. 7. Maintain a written to-do list. On the surface, keeping a computerized to-do list appears to be quite productive. Look at all the brilliant color coding. The problem is that you risk succumbing to the internet's seductive tactics if you're continually checking your phone or email to update the item. Then, what was once a good attempt to keep your job structured devolves into chatting your pal about how your fantasy league for The Bachelor is certainly winning this season. 8. Consider the most detrimental case. In order to overcome procrastination, which can sometimes be motivated by fear, it can be helpful to consider what would actually occur if you failed to do this work. Imagine the scathing email from your employer, the snickers from your passive-aggressive coworker, and the terrible sense of sorrow you'd feel when you realize you might have prevented the entire situation in the first place. Go all 9. Then persuade yourself that if you act now, none of that will happen. 9. Implement a greater incentive. If short breaks between work periods aren't enough, schedule something time-sensitive, such as lunch with a favorite coworker, happy hour with friends, or a spin class after work, especially better if you have to pay in advance, so you'll lose money if you skip. Both the promise of fun and the danger of having to drop out due to an easily avoidable circumstance might help you get motivated. 10. Recognize that you must complete the task. Procrastination can also occur for a less significant reason, such as when you simply don't feel like doing something. But stepping up and making it happen nevertheless is a necessary part of being an adult. Being an adult also has some amazing benefits, such as getting to have sex and eating breakfast for dinner. Take the good with the bad, as they say. Make peace with that so a deadline won't ever snag you by surprise again. You must continue to be motivated for productive reasons if you wanted to conquer procrastination. When I use the term productive reasons, I mean motivations for learning and achievement that result in happy, fruitful, and fulfilling thoughts and behaviors. These motivations stand in contrast to doing something out of a sense of obligation to show off, out of a want to avoid upsetting your parents, out of a desire to avoid looking foolish, or out of a desire to avoid failing. All of these are valid reasons and frequently very strong ones for taking action, but they are ineffective because they frequently elicit unhelpful, unfavorable thoughts and behaviors. For instance, if you worry about appearing foolish, you could refrain from asking questions, exploring unfamiliar territory, utilizing novel techniques, or taking the risks required to advance your knowledge and abilities. Setting and concentrating on goals is an excellent method to start positive motives in motion. Write out your individual motivations for enrolling in the course, and use a goal-setting chart to track your progress. Keep in mind to keep your motivation and objectives in mind. The objectives of other people for you are obligations rather than objectives. Even the most diligent and successful professionals occasionally put things off. While delaying a deadline might be stressful and difficult for some people, it suits some people better to wait until the very last minute. But once your propensity for putting things off starts to affect the quality of your work and life as a whole, it's time to face reality and kick the habit. You may lessen your procrastination tendencies and get on track to accomplish more by making tiny steps toward better time management. Thank you for watching. Follow Personal Development School for more daily content.